In the days of the early settlers, cattle were raised in the northern part of the Great Valley. In the long, hot summers, they could be driven up into the green meadows of the nearby mountains. But some areas in the Sacramento Valley were so dry that only sheep could be grazed profitably. Far to the south in the San Joaquin Valley, there was so little rainfall that millions of acres were wasteland. Only a handful of settlers tried to make this forbidding land support them. And these men in the San Joaquin Valley envied the farmers who took up land 400 miles to the north. Because most of the northern part of the Great Valley had enough water for wheat, corn, and vegetables, the farms of this part of the valley were prosperous. The wealth of this northern section of the Great Valley was water, flowing from the nearby mountains. The farmers on this land harvested rich crops. Dairy farming prospered with green pastures and pure water. Now let's remember this fine farm in the well-watered part of the northern valley and compare it with this in the southern San Joaquin. This soil is rich. Given enough water, it could produce bountiful harvests. Only about 40 miles from this dry valley floor, but higher in the rain-moist Sierra Nevada mountains, are the giant sequoia trees to hold the excess water of the winter rains. The frost-free growing season is more than 240 days a year, and with irrigation, many farms produce several crops each year. Today, the valley is benefiting from the creation of a giant imported from the muddy delta of the Nile River. The climate and soil of the entire Central Valley are excellent for grapes, and its vineyards rival those of France and Italy. Many varieties of grape are used to make the wines for which the valley is famous. And here's another famous crop of the valley, raisins. The ripe grapes are placed on paper trays right in the vineyard, where the hot sun dries them and turns the juice into sugar. When they are dry on top, they are turned to dry the grapes evenly and prevent mildew. The city of Fresno is known as the raisin center of the world. Men use the hot sun of the long, rainless summer to dry grapes into raisins, plums into prunes, as well as figs, pears, and apricots. Dried fruit is a major product of the Great Valley, and conditions for drying it are at their best near Fresno. Finally, the trays of nearly dried fruit are stacked so that nature will finish the process slowly in the shade. Some ranchers operate their own roadside stands, selling produce to customers who come along the highways. But most of the crops go to nearby Fresno, where they are prepared for market. That's a load of fresh-picked grapes, bound for market. We've learned how man's use of irrigation developed the arid southern part of the Great Valley, and how the city of Fresno serves as a trading center for the region. 200 miles, carrots, celery, tomatoes. In fact, a great many different kinds of crops are grown here on the rich delta soil. And Stockton has become the key city in the Central Valley for marketing and distributing fresh vegetables and fruits.